Hey, this is Matthew Rix, and this is the Music Business Newsletter. Very different. We're not going to read an email, but I want to just kind of end the year for most of the world with telling you my story as we go into 2026. I got to do a plug. I just have to. Starting the first Monday of 2026, every Monday, a new Matrix Minute, longer tracks. We're going to go deeper. You can stream the Matrix Minute anywhere that you listen to music. But I have, over the last few weeks, recorded different 2025 recaps, or how was I going to leave the year for you guys. This morning I woke up and it was really about, I think for a lot of us, 2025 was not as great of a year as we thought it was going to be. And I think for me, 2025, just to be transparent with you, 2025 was the year kind of looking back where you go, I made it. Not like I made my dreams come true. I survived. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I think if I was to sum up 2025, I would say that it's the year of unshakable faith. And my faith is in Jesus Christ. I think that for a lot of us, like for me, but for a lot of us, it was, we got close and then we had a setback. And I think of I talk on this channel about my daughter. So in the spring of this year, playing softball, it was like she needs to be playing tournaments. She needs to be in travel ball, all that. And we're like, okay, so you go, and we went and did one tryout, which that was our first mistake. We went and did one tryout with one team. And they accepted her. We're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And for the next 17 games, I think there was like 5 tournaments in that, she sat on the bench. That was all she did. She might pinch hit or whatever. And we went down to Florida for a tournament, for a week-long tournament. She's riding the bench the whole time. Team's getting blown out. They never won a game. Coach is screaming at everybody because our coach is a maniac. And I went in and said something to the coach. I'm like, hey, we're losing by like 17 runs every game. Like, why don't you try to mix it up? My daughter is a power hitter. She can bring runs in. And the coach looked and he said, she's a power hitter? They didn't even know. They just, it was a warm body. It was a check that cleared. That's all they cared about. Well, before we went to Florida for the tournament, we had already kind of decided that we were gonna bounce from this team. And so before we left, she went and tried out for a team here in Nashville, kind of an elite team. And while we were in Florida, they called for her to come back and do a second tryout. But we were in Panama City, and so the game was over. She sat on the bench. We lost by 15 runs. And I looked at my daughter and I said, and her mom was there, and I said, if we leave now, we can make it back to Nashville for your tryout tonight. And there's a couple more games left in the tournament. And my daughter said, no, I made a commitment to this team. I'm going to stay, even though she knew she was going to ride the bench. Proves that my daughter's a better person than I am at 12 years old, because I'd have been out of there. So tournament's over. We get back to Nashville. Her mom's like a maniac with, like, in a good way, like, finding different tryouts. My daughter and I went to 13 different team tryouts. Some she got called back for, some she didn't. And we get on this one team. Shout out to the Explosions. And the first tryout, the coach was like, you come on this team. You're going to be my first baseman. You're going to be my power hitter. I promise you. And she's like, okay. So then we got offers coming in. She's like, I want to be with the Explosions. So we get on the Explosions. We're on a great team. Coach is great. Parents are great. Players are great. Team's great. Everything is great. 3 tournaments in Alabama, my daughter slides into second, fractures her tibia. Like getting carried off the field, the whole thing. And I had to stick around, even though she left with her mom. And I had to stick around till the end of the tournament for other stuff that I do with the team. And then I drove back to Nashville that night. And driving back to Nashville, I was saying to God, this is not fair. Like we were on this garbage team We get with the team who's got the right coach. You know, she's excelling. The people are great. 3 games in, we're out now for at minimum 5 weeks. I was like, God, this is not fair. And I think that if you were to be honest with yourself, you probably have those situations that happened in 2025. Now, some of you guys, you crushed it in 2025. You're never looking back. Good for you. But a lot of people in 2025 had that moment where they finally got the team that they wanted. They finally got the call that they wanted. And as they get there, it just comes to a stop. I get emails from artists who they got the show they wanted. And then the show got canceled when they got there. You know, I work a festival every year in Grand Junction, Colorado. And all year you look forward to this. You bring out a great team. You get to see your friends from year after year. You get to hang out with the artist. And it's a 2-day festival in Grand Junction. And on Friday of the first night of the festival, there's 5 acts that play every night. The second artist, like out of nowhere, it went from 100 degrees and sunny and hot to out of nowhere, sky is dark and hail is flipping over like circus-sized tents. And they had to cancel the rest of the festival that night. And that was just another one of those, like, you go, like, okay, we're here. Like, we've been waiting for this. And then, nope, setback. And I think that, you know, I mean, I've gotten the emails from the guys. I have friends in my life, you know, who they were very cautious on who they would date. They met the woman who checked all the boxes. Doesn't work out. It's like, well, I thought this was going to work out. Doesn't work out. The people go and they get the job that they want. Like, I can get this job. Money's going to come in and I can support my career. Or I can support my kids, or I can do this. And you get right to it. And then the company closes 3 weeks later. You know, in January of 2025, I flew out, went to go meet with a client. They put the big dog and pony act on. They were going to pay me more money to do their project than I've made in 10 years. Okay. And I got other things, but I was going to add this project on. I get 1 month in the project. They ghost me. Can't get anybody on the phone, nobody to pay. And I tell you all this to go, geez, man, I tell you all this to say that looking back on this year for me, it was unshakable faith, because through all of this, with me driving back to Nashville in the middle of the night from Alabama after a softball tournament and telling God, this is not fair, to getting to Colorado, and what you're going to think is an exciting time is us looking for people that are missing and we don't know if they're crushed under tents from the hail. To the guy who went to go get the job. And this is a pay raise, and you're going to be able to support your career, and you're going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. And then the company closes, or they get bought out, or downsizing happens. To the people who, you know, in 2024, you voted for a certain politician in your area or in the country, and you thought that life was going to get better, and it seemed to get worse. That seems to be a lot of people in 2025. And so I just want to say that I don't believe that anything grandiose happens because we flip the calendar. I think it's more symbolic, but it's a big one. And so my challenge for you today on this New Year's Eve is try to find the beauty in what did happen. If everything went wrong, did you still have your health? You know, if everything went wrong, did you still have healthy kids? Did you still have a loving marriage? Were you able to create music and release it? And for those people who everything went great this year, man, I applaud you. And I think that you are kind of a model for what everybody wants to see, because I think we all go through the peaks and valleys in life, but we all go through it. And this year, looking back, I'm very blessed. I mean, we have been talking, my team and I have been talking for years about doing the music business newsletter. And I could never pull the trigger. I could just never do it. And here we are. Numbers are better than we thought. Retention numbers are better than we thought. Thank you so much. We got some awesome things coming in 2026. We're going to do some live stuff on YouTube. We got some live in-person events that we'll be announcing soon that I'm booked for. New Matthew Rix minutes. So thank you guys for all of that. But as we close the chapter on 2025, and we're never getting it back, we're never getting this time back. Time is very unforgiving. Regardless of what your struggles were, regardless of what the setbacks were, regardless of what the close calls were. I mean, we get emails every day. I feel like I read these emails every day. It's like, we were so close and then something happened and the whole thing blew up. Whatever it is, be grateful for the wins that you did have. You know, as I'm driving back from Alabama, and I talk about God a lot and I talk about Jesus because I am a follower of Jesus. And if you're not, I tell you, the best decision I ever made was to follow Jesus. It's not about joining a political party or giving money to a church or whatever. It's about having somebody have your back. But when I was driving back from Alabama, angry, talking to God, just like, why would you do this to my daughter? This is not fair. And I mean, let's be real. Some of it wasn't fair to me either. Because I'm softball dad 101, baby. You look back and you go, yeah, but what about those people who can never have a daughter? Or they lost their daughter? Be grateful that you had this moment. And now hindsight, 6 weeks later, my daughter's back, crushing it, getting ready to start the next season in the winter. And I think that if we just count our blessings, there's a song by the band Kane that says, I made it. And it talks about how the year was rough, but I still put one foot in front of the other. I still got breath in my lungs. I made it. And so as we go into 2026, I'm going to start making my bed every morning. Like, you don't need to do that crap. But if you can live in a place where you are grateful to the Creator, if you can be grateful for the small wins, if you can be grateful for, I played 7 shows in 2025, but in 2024, I only played 6. That's movement. Be grateful for that. And then come into the new year knowing that it's just another day where the sun rises and sets. But know that it's a gift. Know that your life is a gift. Know that your life is a story the world needs to hear. Know that there is a creator and a savior out there who loves you, but not only loves you, but likes you. It's one thing to love somebody. It's another thing to like them. And I just want to wish everybody a happy new year. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the little part of 2025 that we did. Can't wait to get your emails and to meet you and do all these amazing things in 2026. And so we need artists out there to kind of speak the voice, speak the truth, send a message, be a calming voice in uncertainty, be a steady hand when everything is uncertain. So thank you guys so much for an awesome 2025, despite the struggles. And I say this on the Matthew Rix Minute, but we'll close this video out like this. For 2026, may your dreams be bigger than your reality. God bless you, my friends.